They're all in the know. Pick some winners and then we say, let's go. So come on.
All right. We finally have some game threes here in baseball. We were a little worried when the series started on Tuesday, but it is Thursday. We have 3 game threes. Welcome into a live edition of Betting Weekly Hardball. I am Doug Kezirian alongside professional bettor Chris Macero. Chris, how are you this fine afternoon?
I've had better mornings, but it has nothing to do with sports betting, and we're just gonna roll with the punches. And I'm excited. I got my Red Sox Yankees the last 2 days. If you're a baseball fan, those are two of the best games you're gonna get. It's been a long time since I felt the way I felt on Tuesday. That game was absolutely spectacular. Yesterday's game was a little sloppy. They've been talking about the Yankees defense being their Achilles heel. Well, it's been the Red Sox defense and some shoddy base running that cost them that game. It was a game they let slip away, and we'll see if it comes back to cost them today. But I'm excited. The weird thing is, in these game threes, you have no marquee pitchers going. I guess you could say Yu Darvish used to be marquee. Very strange. The lack of aces, the lack of marquee names. Not many people in the country could pick any of these pitchers out of a lineup, and it's just it's wild that it comes down to this with some not marquee matchups and just some really exciting games though.
Some pretty remarkable situations. We'll get into that. I just want people to know Chris is not the world's not ending for Chris. It's just he had car trouble. Okay, car trouble. So most people kind of were waiting for a rant if they're regulars on the show here, but just want to make sure no one thinks the sky is falling in Chris's world. It's just he's all business today on this playoff. I find it interesting, but it's a small sample size, Chris, just overarching. When this new format started, teams that have won game one have gone on to advance 12-0. So 12 for 12. Does that impact your handicapping at all as you look at these 3 game threes today? Is that a sign that it's really hard to bounce back and win 2 games against good teams or anything like that? Are there any narratives you can apply here?
Not really. I don't know. I don't have the stats offhand. Did all those teams did most of them win in game two? Because last night when the Reds took a 2-0 lead, I was thinking, wow, we might have 4 game threes tomorrow. And obviously that hasn't happened, since they changed to the 3 game format. And now with all 3 being at home, I don't know. I don't know the exact stats. I didn't even think about that today when I was looking at these games. But, I mean, these games are tough. I mean, they're pretty much toss-ups. I know the Yankees are a little bit of a bigger favorite in the last game. But, I mean, these are all flip-a-coin type of games. So I didn't really factor that into any of my handicap. And I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with any of these games on the side. I can't find one angle that really sticks out to me that has helped me figure out who's going to win any of these 3 games.
I'm right there with you. That stat did not weigh in. I was just, anytime there's a betting trend, and I don't even know if this is really a trend, but let's say it is, I try to think what's the narrative that applies. And it would be, well, usually the better team would win game one. Therefore, the third best pitcher is probably going to be better than the other team's third best pitcher. Just a trickle down effect, or the lineup's that much better. But to your point, some of these were probably 2 game sweeps, and it didn't even get to a third game. But I also think, aside from the Dodgers' ridiculous lineup and what the Reds pitching threw out there, this was really an under series so far. We had a bad beat on the under yesterday in the Tigers Guardians and things like that. But are you swayed or influenced by just how low scoring these games are as you approach today's over-unders?
Yeah, it's one of those things you have to look at. No one seems to be able to hit in the Padres Cup Series. The wind has been kind of blowing in. Yesterday, Cleveland finally got loose a little bit later in the game. Couple home runs. That was, that's like the biggest outburst so far. The Yankees game looked like it was sailing over last night, and then that, hit a roadblock. It's just been weird. No one's been able to get the big inning, or both teams haven't been able to score in the same inning. It's just been one run. Things have been totally different, and it's a different style of baseball too. It's not the let's go for the launch angle, let's go for the home run every time. Teams have been, very adamant trying to go for the move the runner along. Let's bunt,
Right,
let's
right.
sacrifice, let's try to get that one run because it's so precious in the postseason. So we'll see if
Yeah,
that changes today. I feel like I feel like in one of these matchups there might be some runs, but we'll see.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, and we'll get into that. But all hands on deck too with Imanaga yesterday, Sasaki for the Dodgers, and Kershaw's available when LA plays. So starters are available. Who knows? Maybe Garrett Crochet can come out and throw one inning. You never know what's going to happen because 3 seasons will end today, and that's really important. Managers are not worried about game 1 of the next series. And just want to remind everyone that if you like what you hear on our show, sign up for the newsletter, get exclusive tips, and the free Insider magazine. Sign up for free at bettingweeklystudios.com. Chris, I've been able to stay hot. I got lucky with the Dodgers' first 5-run line, so a late rally, by late meaning before the first 5 expired, and then we got there with an under in the Padres series. So I've now won 5 straight, 19-7-1 over my last 27. So we're feeling ourselves. And we're going to go in chronological order, at least to start. You mentioned Tigers, Guardians, Jack Flaherty, a name that baseball fans should certainly know. Slade Cecconi, not a household name for sports fans. This game on ABC at 3 Eastern, so that is 1 hour from now. Guardians are home favorites, so their miraculous comeback at the end of the season earned them the right to have this home court or home field advantage. You mentioned the Guardians exploded. They got 5 runs in the 8th. That pushed the game over the total, so bad beat on the under. I don't know what to think. I couldn't imagine what's going through the Tigers' heads right now. They got game 1 with Skubal. Then they lose game 2 after the Guardians get a rally. For me, it's a little rich to back Cecconi at minus $1.36. Do you have anything here?
I didn't play this game. I've really enjoyed this series though. I've watched about every pitch. You got Sean McDonough's been on the call too, which is just fantastic. For anyone who really enjoys a great announcer, not afraid to criticize people, not afraid to call a shot. It's an exciting series. I would lean towards Cleveland here just due to the home field advantage. Crowd's been really into it. It's been a tremendous crowd. I could never back Flaherty. Granted, he does come up big once in a while, but I would not. If I was I don't have a play in this game. I have each team equally to win the American League for the same amount of money. Just, the odds, the way it worked out for me. So doesn't really matter. But I just feel Dak and Flaherty is a recipe for disaster. He's pitched okay of late, but I mean, the guy is 8 games under 500 for the season, 4.64 ERA. I just wouldn't be. I'd be if I bet the game and I played Cleveland and they lost at home, I could live with it. I don't think I could live with it if I played Flaherty. So I'm just going to stay away. It's interesting that both of these teams used a lot of bullpen yesterday. The Tigers used 5 innings worth of the pen. Cleveland 4 1/3 innings worth. And it was curious that they left Cade Smith out there for 3 extra innings. 3 extra outs in the 9th when they were up 5 runs. I don't understand why they did that. Maybe that he knows he can come back today, but I would have had him out of the game. He's your best reliever. Cleveland. Flaherty does have some good numbers against Cleveland too. 23 for 112, 205. Tigers are 9 for 38, 237 against Cecconi. So not much of an advantage either way there. Both of these pitchers mid-4 ERA. I'm just going to stay away. Hopefully enjoy the game. I really have no feeling either way on what's going to happen in this game.
That's what I was going to ask you about Cecconi. Are we going to really go to battle with this guy? Gave up 4 earned in his last start down the stretch. He's kind of a random dude to be pitching this elimination game. You see the over-under for this game came up after compared to the first 2 games. But are you really going to bet under 7.5 with these 2 pitchers when Skubal was involved and it was 6, right? I'd rather take an under 6 with Skubal involved than 7.5 with Flaherty and Cecconi.
Well, Slade Cecconi has the coolest name of all the 6. Well, actually, Connolly Early's a close second.
Yeah.
And this is a really cool bunch of names today. Cecconi, Early, Schlittler, even you, Darvish, kind of a cool Jameson Talion. That's a nice Irish name there. So a lot of cool names going today. I guess Jack Flaherty is the odd man out with the just the regular name. So I don't know. I don't have a feeling. I wouldn't want to back either one of these guys, but somebody has to win the game. It's funny, they both have mid-4 ERAs for the season, but over the last 4, Flaherty's 3.89, and over his last 5, Cicconi's 3.90. So they have pitched a little bit better down the stretch. It's just probably going to end up being a crazy bullpen game. Managers doing all sorts of crazy moves, just trying to scratch out runs. It should be an old school baseball game, probably a one-run game. You could maybe do something crazy. You could take both teams plus 1.5. Maybe it lands on 1 and you end up winning. But I don't know. Just a tough game to handicap.
For sure. And I think everyone's going to have a short leash, right? So it's going to a lot of be lefty pitching moves, things along those lines. These lineups have been pretty shaky, if we want to call it what it is. Obviously, the Guardians had that big inning, and you had the home run with Rocchio, but the middle of the lineup for the Tigers really been non-existent. This Detroit lineup's been really crickets, all things considered. And that's who I would trust Cleveland's lineup if I had to pick one, but only a couple guys scare me. I mean, no one scares me more in the series than Ramirez, but I also cannot quite get there with 7.5. Usually when I see something like this, I said, all you need is one pitcher to pitch well. Fluky, we had wind of all things yesterday in Cleveland. You could see it on Bybee's jersey, and maybe it was affecting his walks. But I just can't get there with the total. As much as I want to play this first game, like you said, I haven't missed a pitch. It's been awesome, but we're both passing, and maybe we'll jump in live on our own, just not during the show.
You mentioned Ramirez.
So,
he has the best success against Flaherty too. So maybe it's just one of those games. Jose Ramirez steps up, hits a home run. He's had a few home runs against Flaherty in the past. I can just see it's going to probably be a one-run game. It's just the way this series has been. Even though yesterday was 6-1, it was pretty much a one-run game the whole way. Even yesterday, Detroit got the lead 2-1, but then they did the review and they had to take the run off the board. Just
what a play.
Crazy stuff there. I mean, it was a bang. I'm surprised they overturned it being that close. They overturn it and they take the run off. That was a crazy scenario if you're a Tiger fan.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously that was the right move if they deemed him out and overturned, because he was clearly. But what a play in center! We were talking about it during the live show yesterday. It was fantastic. But be careful with Ramirez. I don't know if it's going to affect their decisions, but Cubs pitched to Machado yesterday, and now he was 0 for 6 in the series, but they sacrificed. Tatis went to second with 2 out. They pitched to Machado on the first pitch home run on a hanging slider from Imanaga. So maybe they even pitched around Ramirez here. You don't want to go down pitching to their best player if there's an open base. So I thought that was an interesting call. And Imanaga just threw a bad pitch, right? The location was bad. And then, Machado hadn't done much in the series. The whole lineup's been cold for San Diego. But they're not going to let him beat. You were kind of saying, if I go down swinging with the Tigers and Flaherty, I'll hate myself. So maybe they're going to hate themselves as they pitch to Ramirez. Let's move to the Red Sox Yankees. You mentioned the two names involved with the starters. Connolly early going for Boston. He's getting the start because Lucas Giolito is out with a right elbow injury, likely for the entire playoffs, depending how long Boston lasts, of course. And then Cam Schlittler, the youngster for the Yanks, goes. This is 7 Eastern on ESPN. You see the numbers on your screen. Yankees sizable favorites at $1.59. They are obviously at home. Boone pushed the right buttons, I guess, with Chisholm and everything. They got the win. That's what matters. And here we are, Red Sox, Yankees. The last time the Yankees eliminated the Red Sox from the playoffs, it was Aaron Bleepin Boone's home run. Of course, he's the manager right now of New York. 7.5 is your over-under, under -114. Chris, you're a resident Red Sox fan. How do you feel about this matchup?
You know what? I feel better than the odds suggest here. I really like Connolly early. He's a gamer. He's a lefty. He's a guy that's not afraid. I saw his comments in the clubhouse last night. Super excited to pitch, and I really like his K prop over. It's one play I'm definitely going to make. Yesterday I was on Rodon outs 15.5, which got there. It was crazy. Boone came out to take him out, and we were holding our breath, and I think he kind of talked him out of it. And sure enough, he got the next guy and then the double play. So we got 6 innings. So that was a cash for me. Today I'm going to 3.5 over early. I think he's going to stay in the game for a while. They want to keep these lefties, on their toes. You don't like bringing in righties to face a lot of left-handed batters in the Yankee lineup with that short porch. And Early has some just sensational stats. I mean, I know it's a short sample size; he's only pitched 4 games, but in 19 and a third innings pitch, he has 29 strikeouts, 2.33 ERA. He's averaging 13.5 per 9 for Ks. And for a Yankee lineup that has a propensity to strike out a lot, I'm expecting this to go over. You could also look at Schlittler too, 4.5 for the Ks, but I felt more confident and Conley Early getting 3.5, over 3.5, so getting 4 strikeouts in this game. If I was going to play it, I don't have to play it. I have plenty of futures on the Red Sox, but I would be on Boston plus plus money. They're not afraid to win in New York. They should have won the game yesterday. Jared Duran inexplicably drops a routine. I mean, it wasn't routine, but it wasn't a difficult play. I mean, a good left fielder 99 out of 100 times catches that ball standing up. I have no idea why he's diving for it. He's one of the fastest guys in baseball. Just run to the ball and catch it. Then you have the situation where Yoshida gets it was a great play by Jazz to knock the ball down. He throws it away, and somehow Eaton does not score from second. He's the second fastest guy on the Red Sox. Another unbelievable turn of events, against the Red Sox there. The 2 runs they gave up, and then of course Jazz Chisholm, he scores from first base on a single. So just a crazy turn of events there. There was 3 runs that could have gone the opposite direction. I thought the Red Sox should have won the game, but that's how it goes in baseball. And like I mentioned before, the Yankees defense, which has been suspect all season long, has stepped up. It's been better than the Red Sox defense in this series. And their relief pitching yesterday, Cruz, Devin Williams, and Bednar, 3 innings pitched, no runs, only 1 hit. So we'll see if that can continue. The Yankees' Achilles heel has been the defense and the relief pitching, but I just have a feeling this kid Conley Early is going to pitch pretty good. I don't think the moment's too big for him. And getting plus money in basically a toss-up game. The Red Sox are 6-3 at Yankee Stadium this year. They have a better record than the Red Sox than the Yankees all season, and you're going to get plus money. I'll take it. So I don't have to play it, but if I was going to play it, I'd be on the Red Sox, and I am on over 3.5 strikeouts, Conley Early.
All right, so first official play of the show, Early over 3.5 strikeouts. And yes, the Red Sox have a lot of faith in this youngster from UVA, good baseball program, obviously. And I'm with you, and I'm not sold Schlittler's going to be up to the task. He's got the right stuff and the right frame, literally this is size, but I think if one pitcher gets rocked, I think it's Schlittler. So I talked about it in yesterday's show because I had the Red Sox from a couple shows ago where I took plus 155 and for the series. And obviously they won game 1, could have played out of it, hedged a little bit, bet Yankees yesterday, free shot in game 2. But I felt comfortable in game 3. Obviously I would prefer Giolito. And when I made the series bet on that show 2 days ago, the Giolito news had not yet been announced, but I'm okay. I mean, I got line value at plus 155, obviously, but I think it's the right side. I think this Yankees team, frankly, it's fragile. You can tell from the fans and social media, they want to shoot Boone after one game, and then they're celebrating Chisholm scoring from first. But keep in mind, he's fast as can be. He was running on the pitch, and it was just one of those weird singles to the right field. So this Yankees team's feeling themselves a little bit, but they go down 1-0. I think that everybody's going to be buckling and playing tight. I think you have a great bet with the over 3.5 strikeouts. I think it's a really sharp angle.
Yeah, I played it earlier this morning at plus 102. I've seen the juice escalate quickly on this.
Mhm.
If you go to Ballpark Pal, they're high on both of these pitchers to go over their strikeout props. And I think, listen, if Early's pitching well, he's going to go way over the strikeout prop. I mean, you can
ladder it up.
Yeah, if you have a place where you can ladder this, I would say go for it. It just depends on if he's going to stay in the game, and I think he is because they want to limit the short porch in right field. So I think he's up for the moment. I think he's good for 5 innings, and based on 5 innings, he's going to have maybe 5 or 6 strikeouts, maybe 7. The kid has great stuff. He's got an unbelievable fastball, and he's got a great breaking pitch. So he mixes it up tremendously. And both of these lineups haven't seen either of these pitches, so I expect there to be a lot of strikeouts in this game.
Right, and if you do want to ladder it up, over 4.5 strikeouts is plus 140. Over 5.5, plus 280. That could get fun. And depending on the umps. Now, I don't chart umps. I know a lot of baseball sharp, analytics guys do. But if you get a guy with a loose strike zone, then obviously laddering up is certainly the answer. Just to keep in mind. Also, you want to keep this in mind. Get up to a 100% profit boost on your MLB same game parlay today. Opt in at Bet Rivers and get your MLB midweek profit boost on any same game parlay with odds of plus 100 or longer. Check the Bet Rivers app for full details. And we get into the game in Chicago. Padres, Cubs. Yu Darvish, you mentioned him against Jameson Taillon, who's a former Yankee, by the way. This one on ESPN as well. And we have the Cubs, as you would imagine, slight home favorites here. 7.5's the total and split, obviously, the juice. I cannot bet over in this game. There's no chance. Darvish is capable of pitching well. Taillon is capable of pitching well, but it's also a fate of each lineup. This is a classic case where if you just get one pitcher to pitch effectively enough and the wind's not blown out or anything crazy, under's the right play, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make under 7.5 minus 112 my first play of the day. How are you seeing this game?
Wow, you're going under in a game where two pitchers who have yet to top. Actually, they top 201 and 2/3 combined innings. They're giving up a combined 38 home runs. What is that? That is crazy. I was doing some research on the game. Taillon has 24 home runs given up in 192 and 2/3 innings. Darvish is even worse. I mean, 14 and 72 innings. Both of these guys are giving up almost 2 home runs a game. The wind is not blowing in today. It's blowing across a little bit, so it shouldn't have much effect, but at least it's not blowing in. If anything, I would be on the over. I know no one's scoring in this series, but these two pitchers seem to give up a lot of home runs. Darvish with the 5.38 ERA this year, terrible on the road. He has good stats against the Cubs lineup, but none of that has come this year. They're batting 194 against him, but he hasn't faced the Cubs this year, so it's obviously not the same Darvish. I will give Jameson some credit. His last 4, 23 1/3, 1.54 ERA. Padres are 30 for 110 against them at a 273 average with 3 home runs. But again, that wasn't this year as well. So, actually, no, he did face the Padres once this year. April 14th, gave up 4 hits and 5 1/3, 2 earned runs and a home run. So there was a little small sample size this year for the Padres hitters. But I just feel like this game has a shot to go over just due to the fact that both these guys give up a lot of home runs. Padres offense got going a little bit yesterday. They just still can't get that other. I was shocked that Machado got that hit, to be honest with you. And comparing Jose,
it was hanging right down the middle.
That's fine, but people were talking, why don't you walk Machado? You don't walk Machado because he never comes up clutch. He's never gets a hit in that situation. And comparing him to Jose Ramirez, that's blasphemy. I know Machado has.
Look,
I know
hindsight is 2020. I was not saying at the time Machado should be walked, therefore no one should say it today. Because at the time I was saying, what you don't throw is some hanging off speed pitch down the middle that he can golf out to left field.
Fair enough. I was just saying, a lot of people were texting me like, oh, they should have walked Machado. I go, nah, I mean, come on. But the Padres fans want you to walk Machado because he strikes out or hits into a double play all the time. Granted, he wouldn't hit into a double play there because first base was open. But this game, I think, could be high scoring due to the fact both starting pitchers kind of questionable, as I mentioned, a lot of home runs given up. Plus, yesterday, the Padres used Morion, Mason Miller, and Suarez, the 3 best relievers, for 5 innings. So that's another question mark. Can they bring back Mason Miller back on no rest after pitching, that many pitches? Morion, 2 1/3 innings. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. And the Cubs pen, even though they did like a revert, they did the opener, then they brought in Imanaga. He pitched 4. The pen did great yesterday for the Cubs. Can they repeat that? They had the last 4 innings pitched were all scoreless with Thielbar, Ray, Rogers, and even Soroka pitch well, who never pitches well. I'm just not sure both of these bullpens are going to be able to replicate what they did yesterday, and they're definitely going to be in play today because neither one of these starting pitchers, I feel, is going to go deep in the game. haven't bet it yet, but I mentioned to you earlier before the show that I leaned over. I know you're on under, but you've been hot, so um, you know, I'll go with. I'll just stay. I'll stay out of it and just I'll root in your under. But I feel like there could be some
Well, you can
fireworks
bet
there.
the over. One of us will win.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like it. Like I've mentioned on this show all season, I have a friend that takes over earned runs every time Darvish pitches. He's cashed about 85% of his bets. Darvish has been terrible this year, especially on the road. And I remember Darvish that time he came in, that playoff game, gave up all those runs. I could see Darvish. I could see this first inning being wild. Maybe this is a Yurfie type of game. I just don't have much faith in Darvish. I'm rooting for the Padres. I have futures on them. I have nothing on the Cubs. But I just don't have much faith that Darvish is going to come up clutch. I just don't see it.
A couple things. First of all, I hate you, Darvish. Okay. I paid an arm and a leg to fly out from Hartford, Connecticut to LA for game 7 of the World Series and for tickets. And he gives up 5 runs before I can even sit down in my seat. Telegraphing his pitches, who knows? And obviously Dave Roberts should have played Kershaw to start for 1 inning. That's in the past. This is a bet against the lineups, okay? This is a play against each team's lineup. You only need one pitcher to pitch decently, and they're going to be short hooks in this game, and the Padres bullpen is excellent. So that's why I'm looking at a 4-1 game, because whoever gives up the 4 runs early gets yanked. The other guy pitches surprisingly well. And to your point, Machado, everyone else, ice cold. I mean, you said it earlier. These teams are bunting people over, giving away outs like it's 1982 because they're scratching and clawing. And I think the Padres bullpen is excellent. And somehow the Cubs staff, whoever it is, like Kittredge, is shutting down this San Diego lineup one way or another. So I just think to get to 8 runs, it's going to take a lot. And especially when these these managers are not even trying to get the crooked numbers going. They're just trying to sacrifice guys and all hands on deck out of the bullpen. So I'm going to bet against these lineups more than anything.
That's fair enough. I'm just a little concerned that the bullpens, which have been fantastic, 2 of the better bullpens in the National League, Padres tops in the National League. I'm just a little concerned that they're a little worn out because how much they pitched yesterday. The 3 best Padres relievers put in more than an inning yesterday. A lot of pitches. Mason Miller throwing 105 miles an hour. I'm not even sure if he's available today. I'm sure he probably is for a batter or 2, but the same with the Cubs pen. A lot of innings pitched. Imanaga went 4. The rest of the pen went 5. They all pitched well yesterday. So I'm kind of leaning that they don't pitch as well today. And with 2 starters who give up a heck of a lot of home runs, 38 combined in only 201 innings, I expect a little bit of fireworks in the game. Maybe it doesn't get to 8 runs, but I'd be holding my breath later in the game.
Yeah, that's fair. And you're right. It's classic case. Just because something did happen doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just because these bullpens have been good. Well, there were a couple times where certain outs occurred. The flip side of this, I think the Guardians-Tigers game had 2 dribblers up each line that hit the base. So it's a weird game. Anything can happen. And just because something has happened in the past doesn't mean it's likely to repeat, as in these offenses getting shut down. Any futures, obviously it's an elimination day. 3 of these teams are going to go home, but 3 are going to advance. And you can get some amplified odds on the pennant odds or World Series odds. Any of these teams sort of well-equipped to go on a run, I'd be gun-shy with Boston, obviously losing Giolito. That really, really hurts their long-term chances. Tigers, if they can get advanced, you get Skubal in these longer series, always a weapon. That's the case. The Dodgers advanced. They're now favored over the Phillies. So that's a different conversation than the teams involved today. But Ohtani's going to go game 1. Phillies probably their biggest threat right now. Safe to say. But, you can get some decent odds to win the pennant on some of these teams if they were to advance. But they still got to win today and then 2 other series. So it'd have to be, justifiable, or does someone who's got, a bye, if you will, past the first round, anybody interest, like the Phillies, the Mariners, teams that did not play in this wild card round?
Well, one thing that is kind of driving me crazy, and maybe I'll get egg on my face for this, but the Dodgers played the Rockies a bunch, a Seattle team that already clinched, the Reds, who have the worst pitching staff, a fake ace, Hunter Green, and one of the worst bullpens in the National League. And all of a sudden, they're anointed the greatest team ever again. I'm not buying it. The last two nights, the tying run almost came to the plate when you had an 8-run lead. A 6-run lead last night. Tying run comes to the plate again. They can't get the bridge from the starter to the closer. Everyone they bring in is a disaster. They can't throw strikes. They can't get anyone out. I heard the most incredible stat today. In the 8th inning last night and the 8th inning the night before, Dodgers pitchers threw 100 pitches in 2 innings. That just doesn't make any sense. And I'm just not so sure. When they face a real team with real starting pitching and real hitters and not this, team that limped back into the playoffs, the Reds, I'm going to think it's a little different. I like the Phillies a little bit. One team I would look at that's playing today is the Padres. If they get this win, I don't think they're afraid to play the Brewers. And then you're going to have, if they get by the Brewers, they would face the winner of the Phillies-Dodgers. And you figure that's going to be a real tough series either way for both teams. Padres are not afraid of the Dodgers. They've had the Phillies in the past. It's been trouble for them. But I would just think based on the fact that everyone loves the Dodgers right now, you're getting value with the other teams. And I just want to see the Dodgers play a real team. They haven't played a real team in a while. And I think when they do play a real team, the results are going to be a little different. It's not going to be Ohtani hitting a home run every time up, Teoscar Hernandez. I just feel like it's going to be a little bit different. They're not going to be able to just get these easy leads and bring in nobody for 3 or 4 innings and almost blow the lead and then just get out of it. I just feel like there's value with the other teams just because everyone's in love with the Dodgers again.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. Obviously, there's direct value fading the Dodgers in a series price, but then there's obviously domino effect. If the Dodgers are in an index like the World Series odds or the NL pennant, then there's going to be value on other teams. So it's good to have that discussion. How about this? At Bet Rivers, you can bet on which league is going to win the World Series, the AL or the NL. National League minus 150. Obviously, you get the Dodgers, but you get the Phillies as well. Padres, if they get there. Anybody scare you in the American League? I feel like minus 150 might be pretty cheap. Obviously, if you are a, number sensitive, you want chalk to hold because then you have value when the World Series arrives. But, National League is going to be favored once we get there. It's just the question is, what's the price going to be? In terms of the American League teams, I don't think any of these teams really scare me, especially with the Giolito injury. I kind of have a feeling minus 150 is going to be value.
I don't think Giolito is 100%. He's not done for the whole playoff.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Listen, if Jaron Duran could make a routine catch in left field yesterday, there's going to be a totally different perspective on the Red Sox. Aaron Boone might be getting fired. Red Sox are going to be rested and Crochet and we'll see. I don't know. I don't think it's about fear it's not like you're going up against a vaunted defense and you just can't score against them like in an NFL or you have the best player in the world in an NBA game. Baseball is different. I mean, you don't have to outslug teams. It's just you can win games so many different ways. And one game you can have your ace on the mound. One game you could have an outburst with some of your hitters. It just doesn't make sense sometimes. So being feared in baseball, I don't think that really matters. I mean, the Diamondbacks made it to the World Series a couple years ago. We had no business getting there. Granted, they got smoked in the World Series, but I don't think that really matters. And once your team gets hot, we've seen it many times before. Momentum, the team's feeling good. The clubhouse is happy, and anyone can beat anyone. It's a baseball game. It's not the greatest show on turf or Kobe and Shaq's Lakers. It's a different animal, baseball. And sometimes crazy things happen. And, a team like the Dodgers, back in 1988 beat the big bad A's. It's just the way it happens sometimes.
And in terms of line value, obviously the starter in game one has such influence in the series price. So if it's Skubal, if it's Crochet, I mean, those guys are huge weapons that the National League doesn't really have. Unless I'm blanking. Obviously, the Dodgers have a couple sweet arms at the top. We'll see. I just wanted to kind of discuss it, flush it out in case there was any reason to strike early, so to speak, in this one. But I think we're ready for some baseball. Now we will have a show tomorrow. Just want to remind everyone, Adam Bull will be on the controls there, looking ahead to the weekend because travel day, off day, whatever you want to call it, and then things get resumed for the divisional round on Saturday, and the bigger, higher seeds will be in action. But 3 teams will go home. 3 teams will advance in thrilling fashion because it'll go 3-game series. And I'm interested in the Dodgers. I think you're right, Chris. Obviously, with the bullpen woes there, but the lineup is intimidating. They're just the guys you don't really think. You obviously know the big names at the top of the lineup. Ohtani had just an awesome at bat, and then Betts has come alive. Freeman's Freeman, but then Teoscar Hernandez, Pajes, and we get playoff version of Kike Hernandez, and then Muncy. It's a lot of bats in that lineup that are just really imposing when you have other managers bunting guys over and things like that. But you're right. They beat up on the Reds, who had no business in the playoffs. So a lot to sort out. 3 games to go today. We'll see if the defense and pitching resumes, or we're going to see some explosive offenses get going. But any final thoughts, Chris?
Go Red Sox.
Go Red Sox. All right.
Well,
Good luck.
Listen, I have a lot of big futures on the Padres and the Red Sox, so I'll probably just throw in a little Cubs Yankees parlay just to make myself feel better if both my big futures go down in a blaze of glory today. But I'm just excited for the games. I love how there's no early game. It gives us a little more time to get ready, and then we have a late game. So exciting day. I'm going to be watching every single game today, and I can't wait. And I hope everyone else that's watching the show enjoys the games today. You can't ask for a better Thursday, and then you get a football game later tonight too. So right. Awesome day of sports. I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, and good luck with the car. Good luck with the car stuff. We all got to sort out as well. But good luck to your Red Sox. I'm excited about the Dodgers. I get sucked back in every postseason for sure. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Betting Weekly Hardball. As I mentioned earlier, we will have a show tomorrow, and also Betting Weekly Fast Break tomorrow as WNBA Finals get going tomorrow. Game 1, that'll be Wes and Sarah breaking down that game. But for everyone behind the scenes and also Chris Macero, I'm Doug Kezirian. Best of luck with your wagers, and we'll see you back here next time.